Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and with United and Stormwind coming pretty soon, card reveal starting very soon, I thought it'd be a good time to take a look back at the mini set, take a look at my review from there, and make fun of all the terrible predictions I had. I was honestly pretty accurate throughout the majority of the thing, but there are always some mistakes, and well, it's time to make fun of myself, because honestly, what's more fun than that? If I can dish out all the criticism, I better be able to make fun of myself. And first, I will point out, look at this man-child. He's wearing a Pokemon shirt. A Pokemon shirt. You're in your mid-30s. Grow up and wear something a little more mature. Anyways, let's start with our first card that I kind of got right, but I think I kind of got wrong too. Let's listen to Zeddy on this one. First, starting off, we have Mutanus the Devourer. Mutanus. The 7-mana 4/4 Murloc. Everybody was like losing their crap when they saw this card. They're like, this is don't want to really say the S word. Monetization. It has the battle cry of eat a minion in your opponent's hand and gain its stats. So it's kind of like a dirty rat, kind of, right? Except it's 7 mana. Devours. It's a 4/4. It does nothing the turn it's played other than gain some stats. And maybe you get lucky, you're against Ticketus Warlock, and you hit Ticketus, and then this is a 12/12. And that's cool, but a 7-mana 4/4, not really going to make the cut in a lot of matchups. Like, I could see maybe like this is like an ultra greed option is like a priest, maybe. That's kind of what it is. But again, it's a 7-mana 4/4 Murloc. It's really cool, but it's way too expensive. It's too much of a liability. I can't see this being more than a meme card, and it's kind of sad the only disruption that we're getting these days is just the disruption sucks. Zeddy, and I'm sorry to say it, I think this card will not be very good in standard. I would give it like a 2 there in standard. We'll see like fringe greed play. And then in wild, I'd probably give it a 2 as well, because you have Dirty Rat, you have so many other better way of disrupting people. You have Lotheb, and even with a card like Scargill that can make this cost 1 mana, which is potentially pretty cool. I don't see it happening. This is more like a random Murloc you'll end up generating rather than one you'll put into your deck. I just don't see it. Okay, I've had enough of his talk. So yeah, Mutanus it's not like meta defining. It's not like a 5-star card, but it certainly sees play in standard, especially in priest. Like, that was a pretty astute prediction. That's why I said it was kind of right. But even like Menagerie Warrior, you see it pop up, and some other decks, like basically any control deck is going to run Mutanus. Just really good. Like, it's 7 mana, it destroys often an impactful minion, and it's also just a giant minion on the board to deal with. And in wild, it's like the Shutterwalk thing just went over my head. I don't know. And yeah, it's been quite good at Shutterwalk, although it does disrupt your ice fishing a bit. But honestly, I've been enjoying the greed aspect of it. But even like I've seen some priests run it. I've seen like N'Zoth or Dead Man's Hand Warriors going with it. It's like Dirty Rat, where you don't have to worry about killing anything. They can't resurrect it. They can't raise dead it. I'd say overall, it's probably been like a 3 or 4-star card. It's been very good, a lot better than I thought. And I definitely I saw it more as a 7-mana 4/4 do nothing, but honestly, in this day and age, you even if you eat like just anything, you're taking a card away and you're putting a threat on the board. It's been pretty decent for sure. So this video, I was like, it might break Hearthstone. There was one card that really had me concerned, and actually still does. But let's let Zeddy talk about it. It's the card I'm losing my mind about. What is it? I don't believe this has actually been officially released. There was a bunch of cards leaked. Only one of them is like really properly translated. We'll go over the other ones in another video, but it's a Druid legendary Lady Anacondra, 6 mana 3/7. Your nature spells cost 2 less. This is a constant effect. It's not a battle cry, and you wouldn't think too much of this card. Like, I mean, the stats suck. The effect doesn't seem that great. The problem is there's a card in the game called Celestial Alignment. Very true. That makes all of your cards cost 1, and that includes nature spells. That includes this card. You play Lady Anacondra, your nourish is 0 mana. Condra, come on, Zeddy. Come on, read. You play this in wild, your overflow is 0 mana. All of a sudden, you can draw your entire deck and just do an absurd amount of things for 0 mana. And Celestial Alignment in wild, if you're not aware, is very close to being a really top tier deck with a Maledict list right now. The wild part could just put it over the top. You literally play Celestial Alignment, play Lady Anacondra, and you probably win the game. Condra. All you have to do is hit Inertia and Overflow. That's it. All you gotta do, because you're gonna chain into like a biology project, which gives you mana, which is a nature spell, an overgrowth or whatever. I think this card is like a mana sheet engine on a respectable regular ramp and stuff is fine. But when you make cards like Celestial Alignment and you have a constant effect like this, that has the potential to be game breaking. and Celestial Alignment
You know
has
what,
been
Zeddy?
on my
You
eye,
deserve
and
a
my radar
dislike.
as one
You
of the
talk
most
too much.
troubling, problematic potential cards in the game, because not only does it let you cheat absurd amount of mana, it basically locks your opponent out from playing because they only have 1 mana to work with. Their deck's not built around manipulating mana like
really,
this, and it's just a horrible,
that's part of the card.
frustrating experience when Celestial Alignment is a good card, and this is a type of card that can make it outright broken. I saw Orange tweet about it, thinking that this might be
Zeddy, get to the good part. Where do you rate it?
It just blows my mind. I'm terrified to see what this card does. I think this is a meta warping, meta defining card. If Druid can survive to play it, and that's the thing. Are we just going to make Druid really suck in the early game so they never can survive to lay the Anaconda?
That's literally
and
it.
then it's balanced. I don't really love that, but maybe that's why Swipe and Starfall aren't in the game. So in standard, I'm going to give this a preliminary 4. In Wild, a 5 with alignment, and I'm terrified of this card.
It's
I
more
hate
like
this
a
design,
4,
but I hate the design of.
All right. Well, I hate blah blah blah. He's complaining. That's toxic Zeddy. Anyway, so yeah, I overrated the card in standard quite a bit. Lady Anacondra, the whole Miracle Druid deck, is arguably one of the worst decks that's ever been like on a meta report. I think Vicious Syndicate, something like that. It's terrible. But the card can break the game. It really can. Like we've seen in Wild, it's a good deck. Like the Tog Druid, the Mali Druid, you do Mechathune Druid, because you can survive there. You have the Oaken Summons package, right? In Standard, you can't really survive to play it. But once you play it and you survive, you basically win the game. So although I am wrong, and I am making fun of myself for being wrong on this one at the moment, I don't know if I'll be wrong a year from now. We'll have to see. Like, they have to give Druid no good defensive tools, or else Anacondra, I swear, will break the game. But for now, I'll agree that I'm pretty wrong on this one. We'll actually skip one of the review videos. I actually didn't really make any mistakes. There's only 3 cards, and they're all terrible, and I said they were all terrible. But let's start off with something that actually has seen a good amount of play. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be before. So starting up with Demon Hunter, we have the new Sigil. We have another Sigil, the 3rd Sigil. Sigil of Summoning. It's a 2-mana spell. You summon 2/2 demons with taunt, and still wearing the Pokemon shirt.
Pretty
Grow
good.
up.
2-mana 4/4 seems pretty solid. I don't know what deck this fits into. Whether you want to run it like a defensive option, OTK DH, or just put in Death Rattle Demon Hunter, a mid-range Demon Hunter.
That's kind of where it's
but
gone.
a 2-mana 4/4 for taunt, even if it's delayed a little bit, seems pretty solid. But again, maybe it's just not worth the cut. I just don't know what it fits into. I don't quite know. But it can help you with that Sigil achievement hunting. So look out for that. I'll give it a 2. I don't think it sees play in standard, but it very well might. So this card has seen play in standard. It's basically fit into those Death Rattle Demon Hunters. Not everyone runs it. It's basically a 3-star card. Kind of nitpicking on this one. I wasn't horribly inaccurate this prediction series, but overall, I mean, you gotta think sometimes, like, it's just 2-mana 4/4. You can't interact with it. And that's kind of one of the cool thing about the Sigils is there's no way to interact with it. And the fact that, if it's impactful enough, it gives you taunt, it gives you some bodies. It's not too bad, but yeah, overall, it's been playable. And when I give it a 2, I'm pretty much saying not so much. This is where it starts to get embarrassing. There's 2 cards here that, let's just get into it. Serpent Bloom, 0 mana, give a friendly beast poisonous. You already have like the runner card that like summons
Cold Pack again.
Zeddy can't read on that. That's really good. It also summons
Pokemon fan.
because it's a spell. Summons another hyena.
I don't know.
There, you can put it onto any beast. Period. And it's just really good. It's just hard removal for 0 mana. It's outside of the lack of card draw and Hunter. That's the only downside of this card. You want to it's a card
Only
that's stuck in your
downside.
hand without a beast to kill it to something. But other than that, this card's insanely good.
Insanely good.
I'm gonna give it a 4. It's just like it's solid, super good removal. Ooh, okay. So I'm evaluating this card. I just don't know what I just don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I'm thinking. First off, there is no card, like the card draw sucks. You can't, like, this doesn't get, Barak doesn't draw this. And also it's Hunter, Migo Face, like me no trade. And Serpent Bloom, I have seen it see a bit of play, I will admit, but off Resizing Pouch. Some people have run Resizing Pouch, play like Kolkar Pack Runner, and then get it artificially through this, and then you can get other stuff on other turns. That's where it's kind of seen play. Serpent Bloom just it's not worth the removal. It's actually pretty awful. Really not good in Hunter so far, and in Wild, even with like Dread Scale, it's not good. Bad card. Zeddy's bad. But I will say, the card art, I'm putting it in the thumbnail, by the way, is super cute. And for that reason, the card's not that bad. And here's the other card that I definitely got wrong. Like Dory Set Finder.
4 mana 1/6, which not the greatest stats, but Frenzy summon 4 1/1 hyenas with Rush. That's insane. That is a whole lot of stats.
Yeah.
And those are all beasts that you can put Serpent Bloom on, and you know, it's
really on the Serpent Bloom
not
train.
easy to kill in one hit. So the Frenzy's likely to go up.
She's
even
ashamed
if you
of
don't
me.
proc it, but you have like Wound.
She doesn't want to look at
and
me.
you have this huge board of beasts, and your opponent has to deal with it.
I'm
And if you play
sorry.
aggressive hunter, you're going to push a lot of
doesn't
damage,
wanna
get a
look
lot
at
of chip damage. This card seems insane to me. It just seems absurd amount of stats for just 4 mana. I know it's not guaranteed, but man, dealing 6 on 4 is really not that easy. So
Yeah,
I'm
but-
gonna give this a 4 in standard. I think a face
Ugh.
deck could use this.
At least I didn't give
think
it a 5.
mid-range deck can use this. This card just seems absurdly good.
So I just saw the stats. I'm like, it's 4 mana 1/6, and you add another 4/4 to that. That's 4 mana 5/10. That's broken. But it's got Frenzy on it, and Frenzy kind of sucks, and it's just a bunch of 1/1s that don't really do anything, and it's clunky and slow, and you're just playing Face Hunter. So it's like the card just, it sucks. This card, even in Arena, I've seen it in Arena, it doesn't seem that great. I don't know. On paper, to me, it seems so good. So many stats, but Frenzy just blows, and the stat distribution of all this stuff is just not good. None of the breakpoints are relevant. It's just the hyenas don't go face because it's not worth the cut at all, and it's just been one of the worst. The hunter cards in this mini set were just awful, and the other card was that poisonous weapon, which I did call garbage. It's just, oh my goodness. I really tried to make hunters seem good at least. And the last card we'll talk about is the card that got banned. Stealer of Souls got banned from Wild, and I gave it a 2 for standard, said it wouldn't be that great. It's not that great, it's basically 2 in standard. Let's see what I say about Wild, and to be fair, I pretty much talk about what's going to happen, but I wasn't bold enough to really to go in on it. Tons of implications. You have Solarium, you have Plot Twist, you have Violet Illusionist, which can make you immune while you're, playing this. You could do this giant scam thing where you play Stealer of Souls, Plot Twist, and try and hit a Violet Illusionist, then making yourself immune, and then doing these crazy kind of like Darkest Hour Warlock things. The thing Exactly
is,
what
it's like
happened.
a 7 mana play or a 6 mana play where Dark Lair already dominates and is so much faster and just cheats out 8/8s already. But maybe it's this scam, ridiculous, broken thing in Wild. There's a potential for it. So for Wild, I'll give it that potential 3 because
Ooh.
maybe it will break the format in that way. But it does seem a little bit, clunky and expensive in that regard. But yeah, it could be pretty insane. And then we have the Warrior cards with. So I did not fully commit to the broken. I didn't give it the 5-star. And honestly, I don't even know if you give it 5-star. Like, it was the frustration of what the gameplay experience made, right? Like, Dark Lair was still better than it and is still better than it, but it just auto beat every single slow matchup ever. And it was super frustrating. And the scam turns were absolutely ridiculous and basically game breaking. So I nailed it on the head what was going to happen. It basically became a Darkest Hour deck. You did all that stuff. And 6-7 mana was a little bit slow, but overall not slow enough to make it not playable, and eventually led to the card being banned. So I kind of got it right, but at the same time, you got to commit. You got to commit to your predictions, and I try to play it safe, and you know what? I'm going to give it another dislike on this one. Zeddy, don't play it safe next time. Go all in. Call it broken like Scabs. It could never go wrong from there. And that's about it. I didn't have any horrendously terrible predictions other than the 100 cards, but thought it'd be fun to take a look back at the card review and get excited for the next batch of card reviews that will be starting on July 20th. You're going to have Regis in your feed instantly once those cards drop in. I'll be not too far behind. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.